Welcome. Today's webinar will be on the OSHA revised working walking surfaces and fall protection standards. My name is Mark McGeehan. I'm a safety consultant with the OSHA consultation program. I cover eastern and central Pennsylvania on the safety end of the spectrum for the consultation program based at IUP. I've worked there for about 18 years, and I look forward to assisting you in better understanding this standard. Try to keep it interesting as far as possible, and this is not an interactive webinar, so you just have to follow along. Any questions that may be generated from this webinar can be sent to our website at www.iup.edu/PA-OSHA consultation. The new standard took effect January 17, 2017. The new standard is based on trying to get you to better understand some changes from the old standards and how general industry and the construction standards may interact in this revision. I'm trying to provide a summary of the major changes so you have a solid game plan when you approach addressing these issues at your workplace. The new standard will update the old standard, which has not been updated since 1972. There's 88 pages to this standard, so it's not a very simple standard, but most of the information we provide here will help you clarify and inform you on how to comply with the standard at its best. There's harmony between general industry and construction in several areas, which we will talk about in a few slides later. We try to make it plain language. That's what they tried to do when they did the new rulemaking, so that everyone can understand it. And it is designed to reduce fatalities. They're saying 29 fatalities with 5,842 injuries per year can be avoided through the implementation of the new rules. Obviously, there will be reduced costs, and the Bureau of Labor Statistics and OSHA believe there will be $309 million in savings from the implementation of these rules. Let's try to make a better workplace for any general industry. Anybody that has a floor in their building, they're going to be covered under this rule. It also talks about falls from billboards, anchorage failures, and the use of inadequate fall protection system equipment, which has been an issue in the past, as this is one of the leading causes of injury and fatalities in the country. The new standard organizes the subparts into the following different categories by number, 21 through 30. We will go through each of these in some detail in the following slides. OSHA tried to make it a clear, logical order when they did this, and this is what we came up with as far as the OSHA consultation delivery of this information. It's consolidating a lot of things into one section. It's going to add new definitions. Just remember, open-sided flooring greater than 4 feet in general industry must be protected. Key definition that I always get out in the field is that what is a qualified person? And that's somebody who, by possession of a recognized degree, certificate, or professional standing, or has extensive knowledge, training, and experience, has successfully demonstrated the ability to solve or resolve problems relating to a subject matter or work on the project. So you must have qualified people in certain situations under this standard to be able to meet the standard. Section 22 is general requirements, and these requirements maintain the housekeeping rules. It basically says that any working or walking surface must be clean and dry. You don't have any projectiles or anything like nails on the floor on your working surfaces. It maintains the load capacity rating for mezzanines, and it now requires that inspections be done. How you document these inspections, they do not clarify that. Areas must be routinely inspected as often as necessary. So they do not determine whether it's every day, every week, every month. It's a judgment call on your part to make sure that all your walking surfaces are safe. If corrections or repairs cannot be made immediately, the hazards must be guarded to prevent employees from using the walking working surface until the hazard is corrected. Repairs are to be done and overseen by competent people, those who have knowledge and skills in doing such work. The structural integrity section is 1910-22E3. A qualified person must determine the load capacity rating of any surface or mezzanine in which people are working below. Section 1910-23 used to be called guarding wall and floor openings and holes. It's now the ladder safety section. This section is going to cover 1910-20, the old 1910-25, 26, and 27, where it had separate sections for portable ladders and metal ladders and wood ladders. So it's trying to simplify all these into one section. There are exceptions to the ladder standard used in emergency situations such as firefighting, rescue, and tactical law enforcement. It's also an exception for when the ladder is designed into an integral part of a machine or piece of equipment. These are covered in 1910-23A1 and A2. The new standard says that ladders must be inspected prior to use. It should be inspected whenever there's a new operation. And what you look for are common sense type items. The rungs, the spacing between the ladder rungs, the working surface that you have. One idea that was brought forth is to put a sticker on the side of the ladder which would indicate when it was inspected and when you want to re-inspect it for the next use, you'll have that documentation. It's kind of like doing an inspection on a crane hook or perhaps a powered industrial truck. If you have any deficiencies in your ladders, obviously you must dispose of them or put a tag on them, dangerous, do not use. The new requirement for portable ladders is you don't want to put them in high traffic areas or where there's personnel that may be in danger from falling objects from the ladder. If you do place ladders in high traffic areas, you must provide a temporary barricade to prevent the ladder from being knocked over or for any people getting struck by anything falling from the ladder. The new update applies to fixed ladders that extend more than 24 feet in the air above a lower level. The requirement for caged and around fixed ladders has been removed. There are new fall protection requirements, and the employer does not have to remove cages on existing ladders at this time. Fixed ladders above 24 feet of a lower level. Each existing fixed ladder installed before November 19th, 2018 must be equipped with a personal fall protection, fall arrest system, a ladder safety system, a cage, or a well. Each new fixed ladder, including outdoor advertising structures installed on or after November 19, 2018, must be equipped with a personal fall rest system or a ladder safety system. All types of measurements and details about these standards can be found in the standard itself under 1910-23. The next section is 1910-24. It's now called step bolts and manhole steps. This used to be the fixed industrial stairs, which is now found in 1910-25. This moves step bolts on a utility criteria from the OSHA telecommunications standard to the walking and working surfaces standard. It makes design and inspection and maintenance requirements consistent with national consensus standards. Manhole steps must be inspected prior to use, just like a ladder. What are you looking for? Well, you're looking for rungs and steps. They must be supported by a manhole opening. They have minimum requirements of a clear step of 9 inches. And then manhole steps installed after January 17th must have a clear step width of 10 inches. Steps must have an anti-slip quality and be corrosion proof. They must be uniformly spaced at a vertical distance of not more than 16 inches. All these numbers and inches and dimensions are also covered in the standard. Step bolts are pole steps, which are bolts or rungs attached to intervals along a structural member. Any installed after January 17th, 2017 must be corrosion proof. Experts have found that corrosion is one of the reasons for step bolt failure. They must be designed and maintained to prevent slipping off the bolt and uniformly spaced at a vertical distance between 12 inches and 18 inches apart. The next section, 1910-25, was formerly talking about portable wooden ladders. For the stairways, it adds design and use criteria for spiral steps, ship stairs, and alternating tread type stairs and handrails. It updates design criteria for stairs and landings to be consistent with national consensus standards. A key definition is commonly asked, what is a standard railing? Well, it's a vertical barrier along exposed edges of the floor opening, wall opening, ramp, platform, or runway, which would prevent falls of employees and people. The stairway standard also now includes all stairs, including the ones listed here. Employees exposed to unprotected side of stairs greater than 4 feet from the lower level must be protected by a guardrail or a stair rail system. Dimensions and mid-rail information on stairways and protection is found in the standard. Commonly, if you have stairs with 4 or more risers, you must have a stair rail system and handrails provided. Any stair rail system installed prior to January 17, 2017, not less than 30 inches from the leading edge of a stair tread to the top of the stair rails, must be protected. After January 17th, it's not less than 42 inches from the leading edge of the stair to the top of the surface. And you must have handrails again. There are tables and charts with dimensions which cover the railing system found in the standard. These have not really changed, but they are now organized into this section. 1910-26 covers dock boards. This used to be portable metal ladders, which is now found back in 1910-23. It updates the requirements for dock boards. It adds design and construction requirements to prevent equipment from going over a dock board edge. It adds runoff protection and provides information about wheel chocks and dock locks. Dock locks must be used to prevent a semi-trailer from being loaded from rolling away. Dock boards installed after January 17, 2017 must prevent transfer vehicles from running off the dock edge. These would be commonly powered industrial trucks. Portable dock boards must be secured when they're in use, and they must be used for tractor trailers when they are being used. Section 1910-27 talks about scaffolds and rope descent systems. Rope descent systems are commonly found by window washers and outdoor advertising companies. It used to be titled, this section, 1910-23, fixed ladders. This requires employers using scaffolds to follow the construction standards found in 1910-26, subpart L. To eliminate any confusion, the general industry standards have adopted the construction standards. I'm sure this could be a subsequent webinar, as there's a lot of information in this section. To summarize, it adds additional requirements for the allowing the use of rope descent systems, requires certification for anchorage, and requires the rope descent system to have a separate fall arrest system. What is anchorage? Well, that is a secure point of attachment for equipment, such as lifelines, lanyards, deceleration devices, and rope descent systems. As far as anchorages, before any rope descent system is used, the building owner must inform the employer in writing the building owner has tested, identified, and certified and maintained each anchorage point, so it is capable of supporting at least 5,000 pounds in any direction for each employee that is in the rope descent system. Information based on an annual inspection by a qualified person in an anchorage system must be documented by a qualified person and must be updated at least every 10 years. In 1910-27B, it does do the certification of anchorage's final rule and has a memorandum for employers who use rope descent systems at elevated platforms. This prohibits employers from using rope descent systems at heights greater than 300 feet above grade unless the employer can demonstrate it is not feasible or creates a greater hazard to use any other system above that height. There's some important training information that is required in this section about rope descent systems. They must be inspected prior to each shift, and you're looking for damaged or defective equipment, which must be removed from service. It must provide rope descent systems with proper rigging, including tiebacks and anchorages. Each employee uses a separate independent fall arrest system. You cannot have one or more than one person on the same fall arrest system. The components for each rope descent system, except seat boards, they must be able to sustain a minimum rate supporting a live load of at least 300 pounds. They don't want these rope descent systems used under hazardous weather conditions, storms, or gusty winds, or tornado warnings. So people working on these must keep high alert on weather conditions, because generally these are used outside under varying circumstances of weather. When you're up on a rope descent system, it's a requirement that employees keep their tools secured and that ropes are protected from open flames, hot work, corrosive chemicals, or any other destructive conditions. Again, it's important that people know the final rules require building owners to provide and obtain information that permanent anchorage with rope descent systems have been inspected, tested, certified, and maintained as capable of supporting 5,000 pounds per employee attached. The next section is now scaffolding. It's now on fall protection. It used to be the requirement for scaffolding, which is covered in the previous section. This consolidates the fall protection requirements into one section and it's similar to the construction requirements, and there was a webinar provided on that subject, I believe, in May of 2017. It will incorporate new technology consistent with national consensus standards, and it gives you, the employee, better flexibility to use fall protection systems that work best for you and your situation to protect your employees from falling. Key change, 1910-28B. That gives you more flexibility as far as what you want to do to protect your employees. If you have employees that are working above 4 feet, you must have them protected in some way. 1910-28B9 talks about fixed ladders. There's a phase-in for the standard of that for various dates. And for outdoor advertising, they're phasing out the qualified climber exception, which was currently in place. Fall protection flexibility. It allows you as the employer to protect workers from falls by choosing a range of accepted fall protection systems, including fall protection systems that use guardrails as the primary protection method. You can also determine what method you want in your particular workplace, which will work the best. This has worked well in the construction industry since 1994, and the final rule allows you as an employer to use non-conventional fall protection practices in certain situations, such as designated areas on low-slope roofs for work that is temporary and infrequent, and fall protection plans on residential roofs when employees demonstrate the guardrail, safety net, or personal fall protection are not feasible or create a greater hazard to the employee. The phase-in period for fall protection systems on fixed ladders is new. The final rule phases in 20 years for a requirement to equip fixed ladders that extend over 24 feet with ladder safety or personal fall arrest systems, and prohibits the use of cages and wells that do not prevent workers from falling from a fixed ladder or protect them from injury if a fall occurs. The final rule grandfathers in old cages on existing ladders, but requires during the phase-in period that employers equip new ladders and replacement ladders with ladder safety or personal fall arrest systems. There is a phase-out of the qualified climber exception for outdoor advertising. This is in 1910-24B10. Phases out the directive allowing qualified workers in outdoor advertising to climb fixed ladders on billboards without fall protection, and phases in the requirement to equip fixed ladders over 24 feet with ladder safety and personal fall arrest systems. Outdoor advertisers must follow the fall protection phase-in timeline. However, if ladders do not have any fall protection, the outdoor advertising employer has 2 years to comply with this existing standard. Install a cage or a well, or instead they may install ladder safety or personal fall arrest systems, both of which are cheaper than cages and wells. The next section talks about fall protection system criteria, 1910-29. This used to be called manually propelled mobile ladders and scaffold towers. It specifies design and installation requirements of each fall protection system available. You could cover the hole, you could cover the opening, you could have guardrails, cover stair rails, ladders, cages, and all ladder safety systems. The new rule designated safe areas is similar to an old warning line system. 1910-30 was titled Other Working Surfaces and Dockboards. It adds training and retraining requirements addressing fall hazards and equipment hazards. It requires employers to make training understandable for workers, and it requires the trainer to be a qualified person. That means they know what they're talking about, supposedly. That's an important part of this standard. Again, key effective dates. January 17th, 2017 is when this rule went into effect. Your training should have been accomplished by May 17th, 2017. Building anchorages for rope descent systems should be completed by November 20th, 2017. And the fixed ladder fall protection over 24 feet by November 19th, 2018. Installation of ladder safety and fall protection systems for new fixed ladders over 24 feet goes into effect November 19th, 2018. And installation of ladder safety systems or fall arrest systems, they give you till November 18th, 2036. So these are the summary of what's found in the new walking working surfaces standard. There's a lot to learn in there. A lot of it was in some of the other parts of other sections. But if you have any questions regarding these standards, please feel free to contact IEP. We do have technical staff on duty from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. Monday through Friday. Again, I would encourage you to spread the word to your fellow businesses, your neighbors, or anybody in your Chamber of Commerce or small association to try to get them to use the consultation service. We go to businesses primarily that have 250 employees or less at a single site or 500 corporate-wide. We do limited surveys for larger employees that have over 500 employees. And again, make sure everyone knows that we do not issue citations, we do not issue penalties. We're here to help you. We just urge you and require you to correct any serious or imminent danger hazards that we may identify during our surveys. It's very rare, if we've ever had to refer anybody to OSHA enforcement for anyone refusing to correct hazards. This is a user-friendly service. Most of the staff have certified safety professional status or are certified industrial hygienists. Many of us have graduated from Indiana University of Pennsylvania and the Safety Sciences program. And we would like to get out to make sure you are doing the right thing to protect your workers. There are some statistics that we average 7 serious and other than serious hazards per survey, and the calculation is we would save you $87,000 in fines for each time we come out. Oftentimes we get referred by OSHA enforcement who ask us to come out after people have been cited. The idea is we want to come out before you get cited and try to make sure you know what you're doing and have effective safety and health programs in writing. Again, this is the information to contact us. At Indiana University, we have a small office off campus with 2 secretaries and our director, Sam Gallardo. The field people work out of their houses throughout the state of Pennsylvania, and we only do surveys for people that ask us to come in. In summary, what you want to do with this information at your workplace is pay attention to walking and working surfaces. Make sure people walk in the right direction. They know the hazards that are surrounding them in the workplace. Make wide turns at corners. Make sure you know where your powered industrial trucks are. Keep working surfaces and floors in clean and dry conditions. Maybe you have a flashlight in case you're in a room with little or no lighting. Ensure that your views are not obstructed. If you have any questions, Again, contact us via website or phone number. The phone number is 1-800-382-1421. The next webinar will be October 19th, 2017 on the OSHA Consultation Safety and Health Recognition Program, or SHARP. I appreciate your attendance and have a great day.